Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I'd like to share with you guys my personal story about how I went from not knowing anything about Chinese to reaching a level where I can study, work and live my life all in Chinese. It took me about 10 years. Honestly, this journey was not easy at all. Let me take you to the very beginning. When I was a little kid, I had no connection to China at all. The only connection was probably a few trips that I took with my parents to China. And I really enjoyed the trips, but nothing would suggest that at some point in my life I would learn this complicated language. It felt very interesting, but at the same time very distant from my life. But when I graduated from high school and passed the state exams, I had to choose my major. I had many options and I was very hesitant. So I ended up choosing one of the most competitive programs where I could study for free, and it was linguistics. I had two options, European languages or Chinese, and I knew Chinese was much more difficult and more challenging than the European languages, but I still chose it. And we started learning Chinese from the second semester, and right away it felt almost impossible to learn the language because I was really bad at memorizing texts. I was really bad at memorizing the vocabulary, and tones were very confusing. Nothing made sense to me. Everything sounded very similar. And the main textbook that we used was Kondrashevsky, and the teaching methods of our instructors was basically cramming the vocabulary, memorizing the text, and then doing a lot of dictations. And it felt very, very intense. Later, I met a Chinese girl who eventually became my girlfriend. And we traveled to China together. So this was the first time when Chinese stopped being just textbook material and it became real life. Back then I didn't speak Chinese well, I understood very little, but people were so friendly. So when I didn't speak Chinese well, they still tried to communicate with me. And this encouragement mattered a lot. So by the third year, we moved to a more modern textbook edited by Chinese universities. And although the method was basically the same, memorizing text, doing dictations and translating the text, but we started having speaking practice classes with native speakers. So we would listen to native speech, write essays and practice retelling. So by this time, a lot of our classmates decided to apply for exchange programs in Harbin. And eventually I decided to take the next big step too. In my final year, I applied for a master's degree in China, partly because my girlfriend was going back to China to look for jobs in Guangzhou and Shenzhen. During winter break, I collected all the documents and I registered for the HSK 5 exam at Shenzhen University. And the trip became our family journey. After the exam, I went to such places as Sanya, Hong Kong and Macau. Then the results came out and I passed the HSK 5 exam. So I applied to different universities in Harbin and Guangzhou, and finally I was admitted to Henan University in Harbin. And the first year in China was probably the year when I improved the most. Before doing my degree, I had to take language courses, and the courses included general Chinese, listening comprehension, reading and writing, and some other extra courses. But the good thing about me studying there was probably the speaking practice with my new Korean friends. So they were my classmates and we went out together and we had fun. And most importantly, we shared our common language, Chinese. And that was true immersion. In 2019, I moved to Guangzhou to work and reunite with my girlfriend. Even after years of studying Chinese, I still felt my Chinese wasn't good enough. So I did a lot of self-study. And the next year I passed HSK 6 with a score of 220. And it felt like a major milestone. That same year I broke up with my girlfriend, and later I went to Taiwan where I met my future Taiwanese wife. Because during that period of time COVID happened and I had to leave Taiwan and the borders were closed, I set a new goal to get admitted to a Taiwanese university. And in 2021, I was admitted to National Taiwan University, and I had to start my degree immediately, unlike China. But I still took some advanced Chinese courses, and it was during that year when I felt Chinese truly became part of my everyday life. I could talk to my professors, classmates in Chinese, and I didn't really experience any major language barriers. Living in Taiwan is also quite different socially. People are very kind and polite, but sometimes I feel like I'm an outsider. And I think it's because island societies have a strong sense of identity. But what I like about Taiwan is that people don't make a big deal of foreigners speaking Chinese. So I can feel like a normal person here, and I really appreciate it. Right now, after about 10 years of learning, Chinese is just another operational language that I can switch into quite instantly. I think I'm quite confident using it, and I think I will never forget it. So learning Chinese was not effortless for me, it was quite difficult. But I think it was worth it because it didn't just give me skills, it gave me a life path. So that's the story of me learning Chinese from 0 to C1 level. And if you're learning Chinese right now, I hope you find this video motivating. So if you enjoyed it, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. More videos about Taiwan are coming up soon. So see you in the next one. Bye bye.
有什么觉得？也在观着看。对，以前重庆是四川那个也是福建一个福建啊，对，它是位于武侯祠，就是刘备、诸葛亮，知道吗？刘备和诸葛亮的一个祠堂。